Boy, I was listening to KFI this morning, flipping channels, and heard Wayne Resnick this morning say something about the politician in Kentucky who apparently commits suicide after being accused of some sort of molestation or harassment or something. Another one on the list, but once you're gone, you're dead, and especially after suicide, at least you should have at least the class and respect to just say, what happened and not inject your own commentary on the position, especially if it's a mean injection. And I think the way Wayne and whoever else was on the air at the moment, it was a lady, I forget who, but the way they handled that was a little crass because the gal interjected. She said yes, and he was the one who, a year ago or so, said something about the Obamas being monkeys or something like that. Maybe he did say that. I mean, I don't disagree that he said that. I don't know. I don't remember that, but if he did, that's obviously not very nice. But once again, he's dead now. Okay, why bring up the list of his sins at this point? And we don't even know if he's been falsely accused of molestation or harassment. I mean, in this day and age, now almost just being accused is like being considered guilty, and the shame and embarrassment that goes with it is the same as if you did it. And we don't know. We don't know the truth about this. But even if it is true, he's dead and commits suicide. Don't you think the death penalty, self-executed, you know, should be enough to put it to rest without your rubbing it in? Because Wayne at that point said, yeah, he has a lot to regret. Very judgmental. Wayne, by the way, came from the judicial system. I guess he worked as some kind of, I don't know, probation officer or something. I remember him talking about it. So when you're in that kind of job, those guys tend to really become holier than thou type personalities because they're always dealing with people whose sins or crimes are right there for everybody to know and see, and so it's easy to become, you know, feeling like you're superior because you're a so-called good citizen. Well, I have to tell you that I think there's going to be a lot of so-called good citizens on the wrong side of the pearly gates at the end because it's easy to think that because you're a good citizen who pays his taxes, has a home, has a car, pays your registration, pays your homeowner's insurance, pays all your fees, and goes to work every day. It's easy to think that you're good because of that. Whereas if you're a criminal in prison, it's easy to think you're bad and know that you're bad. You know that you're a sinner and need Jesus Christ. And so they do, usually a lot more conversions to Christ in prison than probably elsewhere. And so some of these so-called good citizens never actually come to Christ. They might go to church, might maybe sometimes call themselves Christians. They, go to church once in a while, get married in a church anyways, but never really fully become convicted of their sins. And sins fall into two categories: sins of omission and sins of commission. And a lot of us as Christians, and I'm preaching to myself too. I don't think I'm so great, but a lot of us are guilty, as good as so-called good citizens, more of sins of omission, things we didn't do that we should do, rather than sins of commission, things we did that shouldn't have done, like, all the 10 Commandments: murder, steal, lie, rob, things like that. We haven't done those, but there's a lot of things we should be doing that we're not doing, like telling the good news, evangelism, uh, ministry to prisoners, by the way, ministry also to orphans and widows. Lots of things we should be doing but aren't doing. And so we need to take that log out of our own eyes. And I'm preaching also to the people in the law profession as well. Very easy to become self-congratulatory. And so I just wanted to let Wayne and his partner, the female lady there, Bill Handel wasn't there at the time. I didn't hear him anyways. Just say take it easy on those who have already died, especially just recently by suicide. No need to rub it in at that point. God be with y'all. Merry Christmas. Just a little helpful correction.